You can't get personally involved with anything related to your business and hang on to it. If it's not getting you the returns, cut it loose and move on to something else.
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach Podcast, helping appraisers increase their efficiency, quality, and make more money. Here's the guy who makes it his life's mission to create value for real estate appraisers nationwide. Your host and the Appraiser Coach, Dustin Harris.
Welcome back to the program, everybody. Dustin Harris once again hanging out in the podcast chair. Got another Appraiser Stories for you. Can't wait to get to know this gentleman. I think this will be a fun interview. We are sponsored, of course, by three great companies, including Alamode. Alamode is the software that I go to get my appraisals done quickly, efficiently, and with high quality. You can find out more at alamode.com or 800-ALAMODE. We are sponsored by Datamaster. Datamaster, great group of people down there in Utah, creating a great software for appraisers to save time. About 30 to 60 minutes on every report that you do, folks. DatamasterUSA.com, DatamasterUSA.com. Finally, we're sponsored by OREP Insurance. OREP has your back. You're with any other E&O company, folks, you need to check out this group of great people who are truly there to support their clients. It's OREP, and you can find them at orep.org. That's OREP.org. All right, folks, I want to welcome to the program Mr. Ray Hall. Ray comes to us from where, Ray? You're in...
sunny Florida. Very hot, sunny Florida.
Beautiful. I hit 12 degrees over the weekend here in Idaho, so I'm a bit jealous.
We are probably pushing 90 today.
Oh my gosh, you've got to be kidding me.
Yes. And I'm a native New Yorker. My mother was sick of cold winters, so she moved us down here when I was about 13. And every summer, at some point, I just look at her and say, why did you do this to me? It's so hot down here.
Well, I would trade you in a heartbeat these days, I have to say. Ray, tell us a little bit about yourself. What got you into this biz? And tell me a little bit about your setup there.
Sure. Well, unlike most appraisers, I didn't know one. I fell into it. So after college, I became a financial advisor. I had a Series 7 license, had a whole bunch of licenses, and I thought that's what I was going to do, and I was going to be successful. And after a few years, I realized I hated it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was not happy. Wasn't happy about the person I was becoming.
Okay.
So I always loved real estate. I always wanted to get into it, but I didn't want to sell it.
Okay.
So I was getting my house refinanced, and the appraiser shows up. And I said, do you enjoy what you do? She says, it's great. She says, I used to be a teacher. And I make more money and work less now than I ever did then. Going back, I think she was lying to me.
Yeah, no kidding. I was going to say, what school did she come from?
Yeah. Now keep in mind, this was 2003. So maybe at the time she was telling the truth. But so my brother was a commercial underwriter at the time. And I was talking to him about it, and he encouraged it. So I went out and they had class going every weekend. So I took it over about a 6-week period. I went every weekend and passed it, sent my resume out to probably 100 appraisers. And then when someone said yes, I went into my office and I said, tomorrow's my birthday and it's my last day. So I'm not coming back.
I love it. Yeah, you burn the bridges, right? Burn the boats and walk on. Very good. Yeah, well, tell me a little bit about your setup there then. Are you a single man entity or do you work with a group?
Well, I have me, I have a trainee, and I have, as of last week, I just hired my 3rd virtual assistant.
Oh my gosh.
So I've got 3 VAs.
So no actual domestic assistant then. You've got your trainee, and 3 individuals overseas helping you out.
Correct.
Very cool.
I'd like to get someone local eventually, but right now the VAs have been working out great. They all work on my time. Using Vonage as a phone system, I was able to purchase a phone, mail it over. So it's funny, my friend who complains about all the phone calls he gets from the AMCs, I tell him, you need a virtual assistant because I don't answer the phone.
Yep, exactly right. Yeah, I don't get those calls.
Answer the phone.
Yeah, good for you.
That's the setup, and it's been going great. It's really helped with the stress of the business.
And you and I were talking a little bit off the air before we began. You do both residential and commercial.
Yes, I'm a certified general.
Okay.
I started my career working for a residential appraiser. Or appraisal company. They're actually very large here in Tampa. Okay. And they were renting space in a building owned by a commercial appraiser. And I wanted to learn commercial too. And when they refused, he said, you want to come downstairs and work for me? So once again, I went in the office and said, I'm not going to be working.
Guess what? It's my birthday. And
Yep, exactly. So, and it lucked out because that was about 2006. So things were, on the horizon of not going to be very good. So that's what got me into commercial, and worked for the commercial appraiser actually till 2011, and then got a pretty interesting job with JP Morgan Chase.
Okay.
And they were getting a lot of repurchase demands from Fannie Mae at that time.
Yeah.
And I actually got a job head of their escalations department that we argued in favor of the appraiser.
I was going to say, you're that guy, but no, you weren't that guy. You were the other guy.
No, I was the guy who was trying to help you.
So
that was a fascinating job because, man, I learned that seller's guide backwards, forwards, and upside down.
Mm-hmm.
So when I've had, lenders come back saying, well, you can pull these comps over here, the seller's guide says you can. I said, don't even try to argue the seller's guide.
I know it chapter and verse, man. I could quote it in my sleep.
Exactly. I've got friends over there who I can call if you want. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know the guy that wrote it, right? So tell me a little bit about appraising in Tampa. I mean, besides, obviously, there's going to be a lot of uniqueness in your commercial side, but on the residential side, mostly cookie cutter, or is it more unique properties?
No, you do have a lot of cookie cutter here. There's so many tract development. I will see the same model home in 10 different places over the course of 7 days. I'll walk into, a home that looks just like mine.
Mm-hmm.
Same layout. I mean, I can almost tell you exactly what almost every layout is in a lot of the developments here.
Okay.
Now, people are starting to get a little more unique. They're starting to change up the floor plans, things like that. But I think because a lot of the development in the Tampa area has been within, say, the past since the 1970s and 60s, as opposed to your 1920s, 30s, and 40s. It was the onset of all those tract homes.
Right.
Now we still do have areas like South Tampa where you do have the 1925 Victorian bungalow, and you'll see those sporadically. But I think most of the business I do are just the tract homes in the PUDs.
Well, how are you going to survive going forward, man? That seems like an AVM world.
Yeah, well, AVM doesn't know what's inside that house. Because,
yeah, there you go. AVMs can't smell cat pee, right?
No, exactly. And we're going to get to that story a little later in this interview.
In fact, let's transition a little bit. Tell me a little bit about your scariest or most disturbing encounter you've had as an appraiser.
So scariest house I ever got. It was in an area called Plant City, which is semi-rural. Used to be the largest producer of strawberries. But I'm going down a dirt road, and my subject, of course, is like a 3,500 square foot house on a dirt road.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like it belongs in Miami, but here it is. And as I'm walking to the front door, there's a wind coming out of the house.
Okay.
And it smells like, it smells like cat. So I go into the house. She has an exhaust fan sucking in fresh air from the back of the house to try to air the house out a little bit. Well, apparently her career was breeding cats. She was a cat breeder.
Oh boy.
She was also a little bit of a hoarder too.
I can't imagine those two going together.
If there was, I can guesstimate that there were 100 cats in the house.
Oh my gosh, Ray.
Probably more. Homemade cat food sitting on the counter. I'm usually very meticulous in my inspections. This time I'm just kind of checking the boxes, going through the app, I got in my car and I gagged. It was so bad. So that was the worst story. And she's telling me the story about a nurse who had to come and take care of her. And I'm thinking, whatever she was making, it wasn't enough.
Oh my gosh,
it was bad. So,
I'll spare everybody the details, but not quite that bad. But I had a cat experience that was unfortunate. So all right, let's look on the bright side a little bit here. Give us a funny or humorous story that you've run into.
No, it would almost have to be that story, but the look on her dog's faces when I went out on the porch. Because they just came up to me and they looked at me like, thank you, please take us with you.
Yeah, exactly.
I've never seen such personality. Yeah, I've never seen such personality on a dog's face. They're like, clearly we're not the loved ones around here, so we want to go with you.
I love it.
For me, that's one thing I love about this business is I meet so many nice people. As you see, I love to talk. I love to chat with people. I love when people ask me about appraising because I'll always kind of go into what we're doing, why we're doing it. Because let's face it, we're just the angel of death of the sales contract. Nobody knows what we do.
Sure.
We're just here to ruin everybody's day.
Right. But what's interesting, and I love this because I've seen more and more appraisers have this attitude that, hey, we're here to educate. We're teachers. I mean, that's really what we are at heart. I mean, when we get, when I walk out the door, I say, do you have any questions for me? And I'm hoping that they do.
Yep. I totally agree. In fact, I've had a couple of realtors who, first of all, I was a little bent because they're trying to get me to go at a specific time, this and that. I show up, there's a lockbox. I'm like, so I could have came here. But they say, I've had them say to me, I wanted to be here because I really wanted to ask you about what you do if you were willing to talk about it. Mm-hmm. And they'll tell me that a lot of appraisers aren't willing to talk to them about it.
Right.
And as far as I'm concerned, it is. Because, at the end of the day, if they disagree with my value, I want them to know why.
Exactly.
I want them to know why I'm not at that contract. I want them to know why, it's below what they were thinking in the first place. And I find the ones that I have the conversations with, I don't have those issues.
All right, exactly right.
You know,
No,
there's
the education is there. You don't have the same kickback. We're talking with Mr. Ray Hall out of Tampa, Florida. And when we get back, Ray, I want to talk a little bit about where you kind of see the profession going and what's on the horizon here. I want to pause here, remind everybody that we're sponsored by some great companies. These companies, folks, have been with us from the very beginning. They took a chance on this show, and they continue to support this show. And I would encourage you to support them. One of them, of course, is DataMaster, a great little company out of Utah, helping appraisers to save time, to save money. Folks, imagine if you could reduce the amount of time you spend in a report by, let's be conservative, 30 minutes per report. What could you do with that extra time? And I would say, what could you do with that extra quality? In other words, the ability to be able to rely on great technology rather than human error. That's what DataMaster will allow you to do. Check them out. Go to datamasterusa.com. One more time, that's datamasterusa.com. Alamode, of course, is another great technology, helping appraisers to do more with less, helping appraisers to be able to get the ROI back out of the software that they're utilizing. There's a reason that Alamode is the leader in this industry, and you should find out more, find out why. Call them. 800 Alamode, or jump on their website, alamode.com. Finally, we're sponsored by a great company called OREP. Folks, just over the weekend, I had an opportunity to reach out to OREP, one of my representatives there at OREP, and just chat with him about a couple questions. Within 10 minutes on a Sunday afternoon, I kid you not, I got an email back from this individual. Did not expect it, but that's the kind of company that they are. They have your back. They are there for questions. They are there to support the great clients that they have at OREP. If you're with any other E&O, I highly recommend that you check out OREP. You will save time. You will save money. You will have your back. They will have your back. It's OREP. It's OREP.org. One more time, OREP.org. All right, folks, welcome back to the program. Another Appraiser Stories for you. Ray Hall, Tampa, Florida. Welcome back to the program, my friend.
Thank you for having me back.
I'm glad you took the time. This is great. I love these stories. I love getting wisdom from fellow appraisers. Speaking of wisdom, share some wisdom on us. Tell us about your biggest failure.
Biggest failure was basically not getting rid of it was a marketing company that I hired to do my rebranding.
Okay.
And they did a spectacular job at first. They worked with my web guy. I have a great website, get complimented on it all the time.
Okay.
But then they weren't doing so much. And I kept them way longer than I should have. You know, like you always say, hire slow, fire fast. And I should have fired fast, and I didn't. And it cost me quite a bit of money.
You know, I've heard this from so many, and I'm not to throw them all into the bus, but these marketing companies seem to be so good up front. You think, wow, I've really made a good decision here. And then all of a sudden you're in a long-term contract that they're supposed to be doing X amount per month. And it seems like they get busy with other clients really fast.
And that actually exactly is what happened at one point too, when my web guy, who's actually a personal friend of mine, said, you know, I'm not getting this information. And then when he called her up, she said, well, I'm kind of busy with another client right now, so this is on the back burner.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, my check cleared, so I don't know what the problem is.
Right.
But, you know, or you're very quick with the invoice to my email. But so that was my biggest failure. But that really taught me a lesson. You know, you can't get personally involved with anything related to your business and hang on to it. If it's not getting you the returns, cut it loose and move on to something else.
Good for you.
You know, we don't have the time or the luxury to deal with things like that.
I love it. So let's transition a little bit and talk about your biggest success in life.
I have to say, and I'm not just saying this because I'm on your show here, but it was taking the lessons that I learned, you know, from your podcast. So when I started listening, I was a one-man show. I didn't even know what a virtual assistant was.
Okay.
I didn't. And I hired one, and I'm like, wow, so I don't have to answer the phone anymore? This is amazing. And, you know, and it was kind of that same probably feeling every appraiser has. I can't afford to pay someone else. But I found the more help I get, the more I have coming in.
Yeah, the more you're able to do.
I'm doing. The more I'm able to do. Right. You know, you're going to have to pull back a little bit. It's going to cost you, but it doesn't cost you much. I mean, just start with a virtual assistant. Start part-time. And from there, you're gonna be doing so much better. You're gonna like your business so much better. And just taking that leap of faith was definitely my biggest success.
Well, okay, Ray, I'm going to play devil's advocate here because this is the response that I can hear rattling around in some of my listeners' heads. Okay, Ray, that's fine for you, but I need to answer my phone because when my phone rings, they want to talk to me.
No, they don't.
Good answer.
They want an answer.
They want an answer.
They want an answer. So 9 times out of 10, when they call my office, they're wondering where we're at with an inspection.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't schedule my inspections. So I've even had to kind of train the client where they're calling my cell phone.
Yeah, don't call. I don't know.
Right. That's what I tell them. I said, I'm on the interstate. I don't know. I said, did you try my office? Well, no. I said, you should call that number first. I said, she knows all that. I said, I don't schedule my appointments.
Love it. Love it.
So now, like, if I'm here and I know she's on the other line and I pick up the phone, they're surprised. They're like, what, Ray? Hi, how are you? Do you have this answer or should we call Christina back? I said, you're going to have to call Christina back.
Yeah, we know better. We know better. Yeah. Ask you.
Ray,
you don't know anything. We're going to talk to Christina.
Exactly. If you have a question about an appraisal, I'm your man.
There you go.
But when it comes to, I am not the assistant. And so if you're sitting there saying, well, I need to talk to them, no, they don't want to talk to you. They just want to talk to who has the answers.
Love it.
So give somebody else that task to do.
Yep. Love it.
Be the appraiser. Don't be the secretary.
I love it, my friend. Okay. Where do you see this profession going next? What's your prediction? Next 3 to 5 years? Where are we going?
3 to 5 years, I think they're going to finally learn that it was a really bad idea to stop having us go out and do inspections and to take the word of the borrower. I think they're going to find out there were a lot of problems with that, like they found out last time. And I think they're going to keep needing us.
Yeah.
When a lot of people, I love, how they're going to do those AVMs and this and that. Well, you got to remember, most of that appraisal isn't even value related. I'm just the only person whose boots on the ground that represents the bank. They need me to walk into that house to paint them a picture.
Yeah.
And if they go to these automated valuation models, they're not going to have that picture. And they're going to have to go off of the reporting of someone who really needs this loan, who doesn't care if it's defaulted or not, or the realtor who needs the commission. They're not getting that unbiased opinion. So I think we're going to be around for a while. And I think we're definitely needed in the lending industry, especially.
You've been given, great tips throughout the interview, but one helpful tip that you can give appraisers who are listening.
And it's a tip I got from your show, Dustin. Treat your business like a business. Stop acting like an independent contractor because that's all you're going to be. If you got into this business to be successful, treat it like a business because that's what it is. And I had no growth and I had no increase in my income until I sat back and said, this is a business and this is how I'm going to treat it.
Difference between being a business owner and owning your job, right?
Exactly. On the side, I'm also trying to get into some investing. So I started listening to a lot of the books that I know you've recommended them, a lot of investors use, and that's things like, like the 4-Hour Work Week or the E-Myth,
yep.
The Secrets of the Millionaire Mindset. If you're an appraiser, here's my best advice. When you're in the car for 6 hours a day, don't listen to the music, listen to books, listen to podcasts, educate yourself on how to run a business or how to change your mindset to be successful in business. It's the same songs every 20 minutes. You don't need to listen to music.
The top 40 are the top 40, man. They're not the top 41. They just rotate them.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, we're in the car so low, we could give ourselves a PhD for free. So educate yourself in the car and you'll be surprised, how much better you're going to be as a business owner.
Oh, such great advice. All right. You ready for the lightning round?
I am ready.
Okay, here we go. Outside in or inside out?
I am inside out.
Interesting. Okay.
It's just what I was trained to do.
That's all good. That's all good. We do what we're trained.
I've tried to switch it. I just can't.
Tape, roller, or laser?
Laser.
All right.
I finally got adjusted to it. And
yeah, once you get there, you can't go back, right? And your tablet?
No. I'm not. Yes, I'm a tablet.
Very good. Appraisal software?
I love it. Total. Just switched to Total from another competing company a couple months ago and haven't looked back.
Okay, all right. I've got to pause here for just a second. I don't want you to mention the other company, but how was the transition? Because most people I think most people see what Alamode can do for them. And they're thinking, well, gee, how can I change from something I've used forever?
But with Alamode, you can take your competing software and just switch it right on over. You can take the XML and just convert it. So I won't mention the other one. It's named after the CEO, but they were good at first. But once I had more volume and I needed a stronger software, it was an easy decision. I had to move to the better software.
Okay.
That handles my business.
Yeah. Interesting. Favorite thing to do when you're not appraising?
Me and my 2 daughters, we love going to theme parks. Universal. It's a great thing about Florida. We have
that's true. You got a lot
of theme parks. So we're theme parks I am out jet skiing.
Oh, interesting. How cool.
I've got a Yamaha Wave Runner and a 95 Jeep Wrangler and just spend my day at the beach riding around. It's a great time.
Awesome. And your one goal for this year, my friend?
My one goal is to obviously work less. Well, not work less, but I'm training my trainees to do more writing, to take that off my plate. I want to increase my non-lender business. Even though it's flowing in right now, I have a feeling that could slow down at some point. So it's time to transition that business over and get ready for it. So trying to get more of the legal clients.
Love it. Ray Hall, Tampa, Florida. Thank you, my friend, for joining us today. Really appreciate it.
No, my pleasure. I had a great time. Thank you so much for having me, and hopefully we can do this again sometime.
I can't wait, my friend. And I should mention, I'm going to get to meet you in person very soon. You're coming to an upcoming in-person mastermind. So thank you for being a part of that. I can't wait to get to know you in person.
I'm excited too. I mean, I've gotten so much great information from just the podcast that I figure, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah,
you
10x,
have the whole
10x
day
that for the mastermind. It'll blow your socks off. They're the great things that happen in those meetings. It's going to be awesome.
Absolutely. You always learn in those books. I tell everybody to read, associate yourself with people who are where you want to be. So that's why I joined that mastermind group, and I'm excited about it.
Love it. Can't wait. That was Ray Hall from Tampa, Florida. And folks, if you are willing and able to be on the program, highly recommend you reach out to me, the coach at theappraisercoach.com. One more time, the coach at theappraisercoach.com.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit theappraisercoach.com and sign up for the All-Star team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.
All right, folks, welcome back to the program. Another Appraiser Stories for you. Ray Hall, Tampa, Florida. Welcome back to the program, my friend. Ray, I think you froze up. Hold on a second.
Yep. Okay, I'm back.
Now we caught up. Okay, well, I'm gonna dive back into that. For some reason, it froze up right as I asked the question. So, Ray Hall, Tampa, Florida. Welcome back to the program, my friend.